Hey folks, Adam Zimmerman back on YouTube for the first time in a very long time. Obviously, this past Monday, I posted the video from December of 2017 that when I was in a really dark place, and I'll admit that. But the purpose of this video is to illustrate how my life has changed markedly for the better in the last 7+ years. I also do want to apologize and acknowledge the video quality. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of why I look so washed out. I've been trying to figure that out for an hour and a half. I've also been trying to buy equipment so that hopefully I can get better at this over time. And maybe if any of you have tips, I am more than happy to take those. I've even looked on YouTube and haven't been able to figure out what I'm doing. So I'm winging it. That's kind of how I have always lived my life, and I'll continue to do that. But as I said, I promised an update, and that's why I'm posting this today. So in April of 2018, I took a job with a large company. They offered me a great opportunity to do internal HR investigations. So I'm using my legal skills every single day without actually being a practicing attorney anymore, which is fine by me. I don't mind it at all. I did that in New England for this company for about a year, and then at 40 decided that I was done with winter. And we have a large office here in Arizona. And I moved to Arizona in July of 2019. I did not do so alone. I did so with the pup that I rescued in July of 2018. And you can meet him now. Bartlett, come here, Bubba. Come here. You got a treat. Come here. Come on. Come here. No, no. Come here. Say hi. There you go. That's Bartlett. He is rescuing him is the best thing I've ever done. That is without question. He actually picked me on a warm July day in 2018. He decided that it was too noisy and too hot at the rescue event that we were both at, and he found a quiet place to lay down that happened to be my foot. So he's been with me ever since. And no more treats, bud. Go lay down, please. And he is just the absolute best, the light of my life. And I will tell you a lot more about him. I'm actually working on a book right now from his perspective, a series of diary entries about the life that we've shared together for the last almost 7 years, right, bud? 6.5 years. So, I've been in Arizona. I am now in my own home. I bought this house with my ex-wife. Yes, in the 7 years, I started dating someone, fell in love. She chose to move to Arizona with Bartlett and I from New England. Um, and we are no longer married. She decided that that wasn't right. It wasn't right for her to be married. So she is back in New England. But the point of sharing that is that we did buy a house together in August of 2022. I have maintained the house and am continuing to live here. It's just Bartlett and I, and we wouldn't have it any other way, right, bud? Um, so that's basically been where I've been for the last 7 years. I am on the board now of the Arizona Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I'm honored to have that opportunity because where I was in December of 2017 is still where a lot of people, way too many people with blindness and visual impairment and other disabilities are, right? Every day. And the difference, and what I've really come to realize, I think, in the last 7 years, is that the difference between myself and a lot of the 70 to 80% of people with blindness or visual impairment who are unemployed is that I had a support system. I never went without a place to live. I never went without food, as you can clearly see, because there's still a lot of me, though I'm working on that. Um, and I've had those opportunities in large part because of the support system that I had. And I acknowledge that. Um, Being unhoused is a major issue in the blind and visually impaired community. Um, Lack of family support, lack of financial support, lack of a job. These are all real issues. Lack of socialization, lack of transportation opportunities, right? Because obviously, if you are legally blind or completely blind, you don't have a car. Bart, by the way, is not a rescue dog. He is amazing. Excuse me, not a guide dog. He is a rescue dog. He's amazing. But if I wanted to him to guide me, the only thing he would guide me to is food or a tree. That's pretty much it. Um, but that's been my life. Working every day. We get up usually about 6 o'clock on the weekdays. He gets his food. We go for a WALK. I've got to spell it because otherwise he'll get too excited. Um, and then I come back here. I have my coffee and I start working. Usually by 6:30, 7 o'clock at the latest. And I'm doing my work all day. Bartlett is usually laying on the couch, or a couple of days a week he does go to daycare, which is great. They actually come and pick him up and drop him off, because again, I'd have no other way to get him there. Gets his energy out. Um, and when I get done with work, sometime between usually 3:30 to 4:30, because I do start so early. We go for another WALK. He eats. I make my dinner. I love to cook. I've got a smoker out back, a Traeger smoker that I make a lot of clean chicken and burgers and fish and whatnot on, to try to eat healthier and really prepare my own food, do a lot less of the processed food. Um, and we usually go to bed sometime around. I know you love going to bed. That's your favorite moment of the day. His favorite moment of the day is when I say to him, "Hey, bud, you want to go to bed?" And he goes flying into the bedroom, into his spot on the bed, and he is happy as a clam at sometime between 9 and 10 when we usually go into the bedroom. So that's what a typical weekday looks like. I have never been happier. I am independent. I am able to stand on my own 2 feet, which is all I ever wanted for myself. Yes, there are still obstacles, there are still limitations, there are still challenges. Going through divorce was not fun. I don't recommend it, but it was the right thing to do for both my ex-wife and I. And the fact of the matter is I am I have been through worse. As hard as that experience was, I think if you look at that first video that I posted, you'll see I was in a much darker place in 2017, and I couldn't have dealt with something like that then. I can now, and I did. And I hold no ill will. Again, wasn't a fun experience, but it was what we both needed to do to grow our futures and our lives separately. Um, and I'm grateful to her that she recognized that before I did, as hard as that may be to admit. But again, I have a great life. My family is almost all still back in New England. I have two little nephews now that I love going back to see every at least twice a year, usually. Um, I, if you had told that person in that video 7 years ago what would have happened in the intervening 7 years, um, he would have asked you for whatever you were smoking because um, and I thank the big man upstairs, the big cheese, God, whatever you want to call him or her, every single night, um, for the gifts that I have been given. That does include, as I have said in previous videos that I've posted and will say in subsequent videos, that those gifts include my disability. I am grateful for my blindness every single day, despite the challenges that it brings, because it has given me way more than it has taken from me. I am the man I am now, because of the challenges that I went through, and I wouldn't have gone through them if I had 20/20 vision from day one. So there will be many more videos. This is probably already long enough. Again, I apologize that the video quality isn't great. Welcome your tips, your suggestions. Thank you again for all the comments, likes, shares, everything on the previous video. That meant the world to me. And I will say, even the negative comments, either about my presentation or my weight, or my vision, all of that. There's value in everything, and so I I went this morning and got a haircut, so I didn't look quite so disheveled before I did this video. I will not cover up my eyes. Some people said, you should wear sunglasses. I won't do that. I am proud of my disability. I am proud of who I am. Aesthetics are not really a big thing for someone who is visually impaired, as you might imagine. I know what they are probably are for you folks, but that's just not something I'm going to cover up. I know it looks funky, and that's okay. So anyway, thank you all so much for your time, for listening, for watching, for sharing, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. There will be at least two videos a week. I don't know what days yet necessarily. I'd like to, like I say, figure out how to improve the video quality. Um, and have a great rest of your weekend.